Pointing Bureau, let's look at our weekly forecast in terms of some of the coins we're looking at. Today is going to be a short and snappy one. But before we get going, I just want to say that this is obviously not financial advice, guys. This is just what I'm doing in the markets and I'm sharing it. So make sure you do your own research and make sure that the decisions that you're coming to are your own decisions and you'll be accountable for it. Okay. So let's get into it. Let's look at Bitcoin. Today I've only got 4 pairs to discuss. So let's look at Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, now let's make this bigger. Okay, let's start with a weekly chart and see what's happening there. So what we've got here on the weekly chart is we've got huge candle come down, huge candle came down as well here. And what we've got is you've got price going down and you have your open interest also going down. Now that is a good sign in terms of a potential price rejection, reversal. Normally when that's what you want to see when on a higher time frame, when price is going down and open interest is going down as well, that tells you it's very bullish. Okay, and I'll give you maybe an example here. So as you can see here, the price was going down, the open interest was going down, and the following week what happened? It was very bullish, right? So I expect something very similar. I think Bitcoin I was expecting 50,000 as kind of like, the place where we would get support, and exactly we went down to 48,800, and we kind of reacting back up. So on a weekly chart, energy flow is down, but buyers have stepped into the market. Okay, so let's go to 4 hours and go and have a look at 4 hours and see what's happening in 4 hours. I like the 4-hour setup. So with the 4-hour setup, what we can see is, you can see clearly here. If I make it bigger, I think it's better this way. You can see it much better. This is the peak, right? So what you've done here is you've come down 1 here. You've come down again, 2, 3, right? And then you bounce off. So, you expect the same. So you come back down 1, come back down 2, come back down 3, you expect the bounce. So I do expect this to go up. Now we're going to have a dead cross coming in on 4 hours, right? This is a dead cross coming in. So I expect the rise to continue going up and up and up, and will bounce somewhere around like 60,000, 61,000, maybe even up to even 62,000. And then we will come back down and pull back down. I'll say we'll pull that back down maybe to about 55,000, maybe 54,000, and that gives you like a lower high, and then that slinks you off into a kind of a further rises up. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. I think this here is the bottom for this cycle, 48K, and we'll keep on going up. So that's 4 hours on Bitcoin. So with that in mind, I've got a few coins that I want to just talk about. I've got PEPE. So let's look at PEPE. PEPE is right. Let's look at PEPE here. First of all, it's always good to kind of look at the BTC pairing on any coin that you're trading. So I like to do that. And if you look at the BTC pairing, you can see that we having a bullish setup here. It's very similar. This is 1 drop. This is 2. This is 3 drops, and you're having a bullish candle as well here as well. So this candle was bullish. You kind of poked right down because people would have bought this, poke right down, knock the stop losses, and off you go again. Right? So PEPE, I do expect PEPE to continue going up. This place would have been a great place to buy. So anybody wanting long positions, I think of PEPE. I'm not taking this trade PEPE, but my wife likes playing around with PEPE, so I look at PEPE. So PEPE is a long any day at the moment. I don't expect it to go down anymore. Let's look at TIA, because TIA is looking really good. So let's look at TIA BTC chart first, because I think that gives us our kind of perspective. And you can see on the tier BTC chart, look at the volume against Bitcoin. It's just huge volumes on 4 hours. And again, if you want to do your counting levels, let's make this bigger. You can see how many levels we've dropped, like the big levels here. So, all that here is 1. I'll count 1. You've dropped again 2. I think this is 1. Then you've got 2 here. Then you've got another drop, so 3, 4, and kind of a lower high. So a lower high there. Let's make it bigger so you can see. So I've got a lower high here, lower high there. So if I were to draw this, it would be something like that. So we're falling down this way. We go back down there. We have a lower high here, and that slings you off. You have your W right there, right? Also, the volume looks very promising. Look at the volume here. Compare the volume similar to volumes here. What happened? You went really high. Compared to the volumes here, you went high. So it's early days, but I do expect that we'll break this 200 and we'll be on our way. So TIER is another one that I'm long on at the moment. I like it. I think it's going to do really well. So that is, let's get rid of these drawings here. Get rid of them. We don't need it. Okay. Right. Okay. So that's TIER. Let's look at the actual TIER USD pairing. So what's happened here is, as you can see, again, if we make this bigger, so we've got some really good setup here. So, for me, 4 hours, when you see these sort of patterns, I like these patterns on 4 hours, and it's what I trade. So, you tend to see drops like this where you've got all these drops down and your RSI goes into the oversold region, you bounce off, then you come back again into the oversold region, and then you also go down one more time. So here is another leg down. You can see we have another leg down here with a bullish reversal candle right there. So bullish reversal candle there, and your RSI is higher, right? When I see that on 4 hours, any day I trade on a long position. This is a long for me. We've done a beautiful move. I think it pulls back, maybe back to about 475, somewhere there. It pulls back to about 475, and then we get going again, 475, and then it continues its journey back up. So that is what I'm seeing in terms of TIER at the moment. And let's look at reindeer, because reindeer is another coin that we kind of trading at the moment. So reindeer, let's look at reindeer, BTC reindeer chart. So let's look at the BTC reindeer chart. So again, you can see the setup on 4 hours, and I trade most of my things on 4 hours. So if I make this bigger, you can see here we've got one drop there. Oh, this is one drop, right? We've come back here again, 2, drop 2, double bottom, and then you have a 3 here, right? So there's a huge candle. If I just make this a little bit bigger, so you can see, yeah, so we've had a huge drop here, right? And then we drop further, and as you can see here, we've got some bullish candles here. Volume is picking up. It's not as big as these volumes here, but it's picking up, and we've got bullish divergence there as well. And you can see the RSI. It's been diverging since here. So price is going down, we keep going down, RSI keeps going up. So that's a good sign. So like I say, that's the pattern I trade. So when I see it, I buy it. So I'm long on render. I think render probably pushes up to about, let's go and look at it on the BTC, on the actual USD pair. So I think it goes up, retest somewhere here, the 530s, and then pulls back down to maybe back to about 465 somewhere there. And then you sling yourself off. So that's what I'm looking for with this one. So that's render for you. And I've got one more coin, which is rats. It's a meme coin. Rats is a meme coin. And you know, it's been one of those coins that I was shorting quite a lot, but now it's ready. I think it's ready to go up. So if you look at the setup on 4 hours once again, right? So it's a very similar thing I look for. So, you know, you fall down from the peak, fall down, come back oversold, fall again oversold, and you also go again here oversold but higher. RSI still higher, and we go oversold as well, go lower. So this is a good setup. I think what will happen is we will go up to about somewhere here to about maybe 10, you know, 1004 area, and then what will happen is, let's get rid of this, because there's a dead cross incoming, right? That dead cross is going to push us down again, so this will rise up, you know, to about here 410, and then the dead cross pushes us back up to maybe somewhere here 08, and then that becomes your lower high, and you sling off from there. So that's the sort of setup I'm also looking on rats. The dollar itself, maybe you can cover the dollar a little bit. So the Dixie, Dixie is one that I'll just cover briefly. So Dixie, the US dollar, as you can see here, it's on 4 hours. Let's see whether it meets my test for kind of a bounce. So what we've got here, we've got to the top there, we've come back down, drop one, we've come down again, we've come back down, and then do we have a bullish kind of divergence? See there, we do. So I think the dollar will bounce a little bit. Now it doesn't mean that it's going to bounce back to, you know, new highs or anything, but I think it bounces back. It bounces back slightly. If we look at it on a weekly chart, then, you know, this bounce is not going to last. So it probably continues going down and retest this 99 area somewhere here will be a retest. So I think the dollar continues going down here, but there will be a bounce. I think there'll be a bounce back based on 4 hours. I think we bounce to about somewhere here, you know, 1036, somewhere there. The dollar probably bounces to that place. So that's all I've got for you guys this week. Have a good week, and God bless, and trade safe, and we'll catch up next week.